and the time is 6 o'clock p.m. Calling the meeting to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Ackrey?
Here.
Commissioner Downing?
Here.
Commissioner Smith? Commissioner Tebby?
Here.
Mayor Washington?
Here.
We have our quorum and are duly qualified to conduct business.
Okay, looking at the agenda, I see presentations. We have none presentations scheduled. I know we may be talking about them within the agenda. City Manager's report, please.
Good evening. I have just one thing to report. We are organizing a public meeting for the common consumption area, or what some people call as a DOTA, on October 21st at the BOC caucus meeting. So we will put out information about that. It's still 2 weeks from now. There are flyers on the sign-in table in case anybody is interested, but we're encouraging anybody that has an opinion about the CCA to please attend that public meeting and share their comments.
Thank you. Any questions for the manager? Seeing none, we'll move to items for consideration. Item number one. Ms. Reddy.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is an interlocal agreement with Kent County for a law enforcement navigator. So this is again what we've called a police social worker that will be assigned to the city of Covington, the cost of which will be covered through our opioid funding. Now, this agreement basically, again, as I said, allocates one law enforcement navigator to the city of Covington to work with our police department and to provide outreach, education, engagement, behavioral health and social service connections to support families experiencing recurring law enforcement encounters with substance abuse and different things like that. So they will provide quarterly reports on outreach and metrics. And so we're excited to get this process started to get a person assigned to the city of Covington. Now, they will be a Kent County employee, but we'll be working closely with our police department on our issues.
Any questions for Sharma? Commissioner Tebby?
Just regarding the data, will we be able to get copies of that at the commission?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The funds are coming from the opioid settlement. Can you instruct finance to get us how much money's in the opioid settlement? And I know it's been a little debate about what that money could be used for. Obviously, it could be used for this. I'm really interested can that money be used for reimbursement for ambulance runs that we've made and also police calls that we have been on for the last few years concerning this? Can our city be reimbursed for this? Don't need an answer now, but if you could look at that for me.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Okay. No other questions? Without objection, consent. Let the record show that Commissioner Vice Mayor Smith has joined us. On Legal Department.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. For your consideration is an ordinance to create a transportation improvement district by the city of Covington. We already are a part of the Transportation Improvement District Board run by Kenton County, but we believe that creating this board, even if not necessarily running it actively, it might give us future funding opportunities through the state.
Any questions for the solicitor? Seeing none, without objection, consent.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Human Resources Director Lewis.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I have one item for your consideration this evening, and that is an order approving the hire of Robert Cameron as a cadet in the fire department effective October 20th.
Any questions for the director? Seeing none, without objection, consent. Chief Dye.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Just a request to do a quick presentation next week about our community paramedicine program. Just a quick update.
How long do you think you're going to need, Chief?
Like 5 minutes.
Any questions for the Chief? Without objection, consent. Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you make that as under presentations Have that for the first item. Next order of business, Police Department, Chief Weholter.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I have 3 items for your consideration tonight. They are all 3 contract renewals for retiree hires. The first is Officer Jake No. With the renewal of this contract in accordance with KRS 95022, he would continue as a grade 6 patrolman, and we would be staffed at 108 of 114 officers.
Any questions for the chief? Without objection, consent.
The second request is a renewal of the annual contract, retiree hire contract with Officer William Kelly. And if it was approved, again, we would be, with these 3, we would be at 108 of 114 officers.
Any questions? Seeing none, consent.
And lastly, same request for renewal of the annual contract for rehire of Podicon Home Podichuk, or Officer HP for short. And he would also continue as an officer, patrol officer grade 6. And again, we would be staffed at 108 of 114.
Any questions on the last one? Seeing none, consent. Thank you, Chief. Neighborhood Services Department, Director Holmes.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Tonight I have 2 items, very similar but for different transactions. First item for consideration is request for an order authorizing the release of certain mortgages and encumbrances between the City of Covington and Academy Flats Senior Housing Limited Partnership. This is a subsidiary that's wholly owned by the Housing Authority of Covington.
Any questions for Director Holmes? Seeing none, without objection, consent.
The second is a request for an order authorizing the release of the mortgage in the amount of $193,000 between the City of Covington and East Side Realization 1 Limited Partnership. This is also another entity that's a wholly owned Housing Authority of Covington affiliate.
Any
Or
questions?
subsidiary, I'm sorry, not affiliate.
Any questions for Director Holmes? General question, Director Holmes. When we're looking at these 2 things, we're forgiving some money here. Can you go into just a brief detail of how this fits in years ago to our housing strategy and relate it to what's happening today?
Yeah, about 25 years ago, the city managed the Housing Authority of Covington, NIP, Section 8, and Federal Grants Program. This is around the time when Jacob Price was being redeveloped, and there was a series of low-income housing tax credit projects that came out of that. In the LIHTC structure, a grant is a taxable event, so to bring more cash to the project, the city's intent was always to provide a grant to the project. We structured everything in the form of a loan, so there wasn't a taxable event, which essentially would mean there's less cash coming into the project from the private investor.
Okay.
So we're also doing a similar structure now. If we receive the tax credits for the 609 patent project, the home money that's going to go into the project as a gap filler will go in as a 0%, non-recourse loan. As long as the project meets all the compliance items over the 15-year period, it'll be forgiven.
Okay, so it's safe to say Covington's been doing this a while, and we're continuing to assist our residents in need.
Yes.
No other questions? Without objection, consent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next order of business, economic development. Assistant Director Sadowski.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Before you is an order authorizing the mayor to execute a stakeholder agreement with the University of Kentucky Research Foundation on behalf of the Kentucky Small Business Development Center. And I do want to recognize our local small business development coach, April Coffey, who's in attendance today. The attached agreement allows for the city to provide a match fund to support the salary and of having a small business development center coach located here locally in Covington. The coach provides one-on-one business coaching to our startup and small business community. We have been in this partnership now since 2022, so this would be an agreement for the next year starting November 1st.
Vice Mayor Smith.
The first thing that I'll say is I support the heck out of this. I think it's wonderful. The only question that I had is as far as the time commitment here, and the reason that I ask, and perhaps this might be something best reserved for commissioner discussion, but we're having discussions about Bridge the Gap and what we can do for businesses moving forward. And this might be something that we can task SBDC with to help us and businesses, because there's a lot of initiatives that might need someone dedicated to supporting those and supporting our local businesses. So it's just sort of some commentary. But other than that, I sincerely love this and support it. And thank you.
You may not have this number, but do you have a ball field about how many businesses that we've helped that have started in Covington through this program, small business?
Sure. So I know that since we started this partnership, we as a department have referred 55 local small businesses to the center. And just this past year, we've referred 16. In terms of the number of companies that they've helped, that is a regional number. And, I can get back to you on some more Covington-specific figures. But I do want to stress the partnership and the synergy that we get from having somebody here locally to serve the local Covington businesses.
Right. And it's been my experience that a lot of members in our community don't realize that the city of Covington are actually, behind this, trying to get small businesses. A lot of times, our city's mentioned for, the awards, being one of the top 50 cities by Money Magazine, Food and Wine Magazine, top food and drink location. All this is driven by small businesses. So to our community, there is help out there. Covington is funding this in a small way with the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and we encourage you, if you need help with your business plan or know how to get funding, you have several entrepreneurs up here that have been successful. And then you have Tim Downing. So,
That made my whole day.
I'm trying to slow the meeting up a little bit. All right. No. Any further?
Some of us work 9 to 5.
I get it. I get it.
Nothing wrong with that. For those of you watching at home, some of us work 9 to 5s.
That's all good.
We're okay. Any other questions for the assistant director? Okay. Without objection, consent. Thank you.
Excellent. The next order for your consideration is an order authorizing the mayor to execute a third amendment to the disposition and development agreement with CCR MN Investment Partners LLC, doing business as Silverman and Company. I do want to recognize their attorney, Patrick Hughes, is in attendance today. This third amendment establishes a closing date of October the 21st. So we will actually be proceeding to close on the land here pretty soon. We're all really excited about that. Another thing that this amendment does is it does extend the construction commencement deadlines and the construction completion deadlines, and also memorializes the process to close on the IRBs, which were approved as part of the second amendment to this. Any questions?
Commissioner Downing.
What is our advantage in extending the construction deadlines?
Well, they first and foremost expressed the need for that extension to satisfy some of their construction financing requirements. Mm-hmm. So I guess the advantage is, we get to do the project with them. Our interests are secured too by a repurchase option. So if they fail to commence construction within 180 days of October the 21st, then we have the option to buy the property back.
I understand that it's only 60 days, but it's still, it's one of those things where, and it's minor in the grand scheme of things, but I, for one, am anxious to get this project started. And it seems that each time we start to engage, we get big promises, and then those promises, they start to shrink when reality sets in. And while it's not a reflection on this particular developer, it's something that I feel that we're navigating with the entirety of the development. And so it's it's just disappointing when the developers are. How do we stress this? Because we as a city don't see an advantage to waiting, because we need to be able to start showing the public.
Well, I can assure you that they are just as anxious to close as we are, and that these deadlines really are a necessity, especially because of when they got their construction estimates back and they had to do value engineering, that slowed up the process. And the longer that they are, under contract with us and investing their own money in design and consulting, the more in the hole they are, so it makes them more eager to close. But I definitely
All the more
understand
reason for them to finish
frustration.
faster.
We're trying our best to go as fast as we can.
Commissioner Ackery?
Commissioner Dobbs. I was going to ask the same question.
Okay. Any further questions for Assistant Director? Seeing none, without objection, place it on regular, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Staff reporting, which is actually not technically staff. It's Mr. Kyle Snyder of the Parking Authority.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. I would like to request a few minutes of your time next week for a presentation about some recent and upcoming activities of the Parking Authority. And I will take maybe 5 or 10 minutes of your time next week.
Any questions for Snyder? Without objection, we'll have the presentation after the Fire Department's paramedic program. Thank you, Mr. Snyder.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next order of business is commissioner discussion. Any commissioner have a discussion? One that brought up? Comments? Commissioner comments? Commissioner Downing?
We recently received email notification around Cloverleaf through the city system. Maybe there was some communication that came out about Cloverleaf. I got it. I originally thought it was spam. If there could be just a little blurb that gets sent to us about what we're trying to accomplish with and what that investment was, I'd appreciate it. That may have very well already have come, and I just simply missed it. So I apologize for that. But I just would like to get an update on that.
Okay. Commissioner Smith?
Just very quickly, we had a festival this past weekend, and every time that we do, I can personally say that it does do good things for businesses. The only comment that I wanted to make, and just something for us to think about, is after every festival, there is trash overflowing every time without fail. So if there's something or some sort of, I don't know, I've seen the pop-up sort of cardboard boxes that we've used for trash, or pop-up recycling bins, just something, because the day after those festivals, it looks awful, and I think it's a really quick, easy fix, and maybe it's something that we charge the folks that are putting on the festival with taking care of. I'm not quite sure, but it's a very small thing to take care of. But otherwise, the festival this weekend, I'll just say, turned out pretty well and was quite hilarious. And that's all that I'll say. That's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. Anyone else? I have no comments. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Housing forums. Otherwise, I'd have said something.